everybody, I got another request about to make a tutorial, this time shaders on a wheel and on a tire. In order not to make models from the scratch, I'm gonna use 3D models I already did before. So let's get them here. Okay, we're going to import collection of the tire, and the wheel I'm going to get from the 3D sketching car not tutorial series, YouTube series of time lapses of modeling. Okay, it has to be somewhere here. Okay, it's scaled down. It is scaled. Let's scale it up. Okay, from what we should start? We gotta start from the. Let's get a reference image. Reference image. I found this close-up of the wheel on internet. I like the shaders of it, and only on the close-ups the shaders are visible. The tire itself never kinda doesn't have uniform surface. Like it's at some areas it's slightly more reflective, and at some other areas less reflective and more dark. And for that I just downloaded the noise texture, not noise. Which one? Give me a second. Right now the wheel look like this. I use very standard shaders without any textures on it, and it's look close enough, but it look like it's extremely clean, the wheel and tire. And if you need it to make more realistic, you gotta put some work on it. You gotta do some texturing. And I have to admit, I'm not very strong in this particular area. I'm always kind of get annoyed by how long it should get. I think all textures in video games and computer graphic has to be procedural. If it's a procedural texturing, only then it works, I think, in my opinion. So also I have to say the geometry have to be prepared in a certain way too, because it has to be unwrapped. Because geometry not prepared, we get issues like this when texture is stretching and laying on the geometry not correctly, with the steps and stretching in a weird way. Right now it's for modeling reasons, it's just a one line with the screw modifier on it, And we gotta, in order to change it, we have to apply that screw modifier in order to get the geometry looks like this, in order to make it looks like this. Also probably mirror has to be applied too. So then, because it's a cylindrical object, we should add seams on it, the seam on it. For that we select one edge and Control E. Probably I have to turn on the screencast. I'm always forgetting to turn it on, the screencast of my keyboard keys. Now you should be able to see it on the side, what I'm doing, which buttons I'm pushing right now. It's showing on the left corner. Okay, Control E and mark the seam. Okay, now we can do unwrapping. Unwrapped it. Now it looks relatively okay. Maybe the scaling of it, that I don't really like how it's scaled. Okay, what's going on? I usually scale it like this. Take UV edit, select all geometry in UV editor, which is here, and scale it here and look at the results. This texture is, I think, tileable. I'm not sure even, because I just downloaded it off the internet, so I have no idea really, but it should not give me any problems yet. Okay, now in order to make it look realistic and uneven, like on a reference, like here, we should put this texture through specular map. Okay, you see what happened? Okay, and maybe also put it on is there a clear cut? No, clear cut doesn't even turn on. Maybe a roughness. Let's see what happened. Right now I'm basically experimenting. Now it's really dirty. Probably in order to change it or to be able to control it, what should I do? I have to add let's try this, brightness contrast. Looks weird now. Well, I don't think I got it right, but you get the main idea. How to do it. Maybe if we invert it. Okay, what's gonna happen if we invert it? Yes. Here. Not much difference. No, I think previous results were better. Okay. Oh, let's say it's okay, but we have actual protector, which it has to be unwrapped and textured too, and also the side letters, they has to be unwrapped too for texturing. Okay, for that right now it exists as a straight line. Again, it was done during modeling, and in order to unwrap it well and match it, or maybe relatively match it to texture, or maybe it's gonna work this way. Let's try it. Project from view. What happened? Come on. Can't really see it. Yeah, the texture on the side, on the letters on the side of the tire is too big. We can scale it here to match the actual side. This should be enough, I think. Still don't like how it looks like on the side. Okay, well, you got an idea. I'm not experienced at this area. I prefer very much just modeling. Yeah, of course, in order to get good results, you need to know how to texture, how to make shaders. But I'm not really interested in that. Maybe I should improve my knowledge about shading and texturing. Actually, I wanted to know everything. I want to learn everything. There is no time to do that. Very difficult to manage your time, especially nowadays. Okay, let's try to make a protector look relatively good. First of all, I don't really like the soft edges. A real protector doesn't have it, I think. So maybe we should turn on ambient occlusion, bloom, screen space reflection in order to make it realistic. This has completely changed everything. Now side of the tire is very shiny. Okay. here, as I told you, I don't like the soft edges on a real tire. There are no things like that, they look sharper. Let's try to fix it by adding modifier edge split. A real tire looks something like that, I think. But now it's way too clean. It's only brand new tire looks like that. So just a similar manner, we take this texture. We actually can you can copy this selected texture in a clipboard, Ctrl C, then change to the another shader which doesn't have it, and press Ctrl V, and it's here. It's a different shader on the protector, because protector always look different than the actual side of the tire. So let's first of all we have to unwrap it correctly. Right now it's repeated throughout all of the repeated geometry, this piece of geometry. And if we unwrap texture now, it's just got repeated everywhere, and it doesn't look realistic or cool. It should not be used here in this manner. So we have to apply, where is it, this array modifier, and now our geometry look like this, like a straight line. And mirror modifier has to be applied too. Now it's on the both sides, and now I think we can actually unwrap it. Rotate it correct way, and U, projects from U, bounce. Yeah, now it's looked relatively okay. We can fix it. UV editor. It's stretched in a weird way. In order to correct it, we have to scale it this way, I think. Yeah, it's get repeated too. This texture wasn't tileable. That's why we have this border, this straight line. In order to make any texture tileable, we can try use this program, GIMP. It's just like Blender. It's free to use, and we're gonna open the file. Okay, and I kind of forgot how to do that. I may struggle a little bit, but I know this program was it had this function, and it takes, oh yeah, it's here. Go to the filters, map, and make seamless. It's gonna make this texture seamless. Okay, now you just override it, and I don't know, there's hasn't affected yet this texture yet. You have to probably reload it into Blender memory. Yeah, now it's gone. See? Okay. Unwrapping. Yeah, it's kind of repeated too, but it's not going to be as visible, I think. Okay, now we use it on specular and turning off this one. I use this kind of connection to the base color only temporary, so I can see clearly the texture, how it's laying on the surface, on the geometry. So disconnect and connect to the specular. It's not really visible, only when you do it extreme close up, the dirt becoming visible. Okay, but yeah, it's already not brand new tire, and maybe we also have to add connect not only to the specular, but connecting it to roughness. And it does look, the protector has always looked kind of matte color, so this way I think it looks realistic enough. Maybe we should change it a little bit. Just again, for control, let's try a different thing for control. RGB curves. Maybe this way will be better. Is it changing? Yeah, it's clearly changing. Yeah, you can use this RGB curves to control the reflections of reflective tire protector. I think the basic is close enough to be realistic. Okay, tire likely complete. Of course it's not perfect, but I'm just doing this tutorial to show you the way how it's supposed to. Similar manner we can use similar way we can use to do it's even similar texture, same texture we can use on a wheel, on the rim itself. Just select this, Ctrl C, copy it in a clipboard, and Ctrl V. First, yeah, we have to unwrap it correctly too, because it has weird lines because it's not unwrapped, the geometry front of the, it also doesn't look okay because it's stretched. So maybe we have to turn the bloom for now, or make it smaller. Okay, let's unwrap this one. We're gonna use different method, cube projection unwrapping. We made it really small. I think it's matching the metallic surface properties, these kind of scratches and imperfections. It's already look realistic enough, but we also unwrap actual this geometry, this one. Right now it exists as just a single line right here, so with a screw modifier applied to it, and we have to press this. Now geometry looks like this, and we'll add one here. I fixed it a little bit. Mirror has to apply too. Again, selecting the look actually good enough. Maybe we can solve it without unwrapping. Let's see what's going on in a UV editor with this object. Yeah, it's mirrored. No, we better unwrap it. And selecting one edge. Control E, mark seam, select all faces, a U, unwrapped, and well, it's to the beam of the wheel and this rounded thing, the scale of the texture doesn't match, so we just scale it to match. Yeah, it's close enough, maybe a little bit more. Okay, now we have a dirty rim. Okay. Now we go into the shader editor and start making things here, changing things here. It should not be that dirty. What we should do for that, well, of course we have to add the connect to specular maybe, and let's make it slightly less dirty. What should we do? It's too much. And this thing usually is visible only like when you do like extreme close-ups. The little scratches and dirt. What's gonna happen if we try to through the roughness? Become matte. Still has to be shiny. Okay. Well, I hope this tutorial was useful for you. Oh, by the way, I wanted to make it closer to reference, and the reference is this one. It's a gray wheel, dark gray shiny wheel. So let's try to make it think changing colors should be enough on the wheel. Color is busy. It's taken. Now it disappeared completely, all those little scratches and stuff. Ooh. It should not be like that. Let's separate them. This weird looking wheel. Okay, we can add clear coat on it. Let's see what happened. This became dark. It doesn't have metallic on it. Okay. Now it's full of it. Very detailed scratches and dust and little particles on it. And it's shiny but too dark. Slightly. Maybe add blue color on it. Okay. But you have to experimenting a lot with this, I think, and if you're doing it a lot, I forgot about the cap. Well, I'm not going to model the cap. I'm not going to unwrap it. I think I showed the way how to do shaders, how to make shaders in Blender, and I hope this tutorial was useful for you. Okay, that's it for now. Bye bye.